Hi everyone, Rob from Off the Arrow Shelf here. I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the Cartel Fletching tool and just basically go through what I've done with mine and to let you know what my thoughts are about it. So I've got this one this was bought from Merlin. It's around £17.99, £18. It's an all metal design, so it's very, very robust. I've got two of these and I'll be showing you one of them very shortly. I like these because of the fact they're metal, all the component parts are metal, and you get the clamp. This is the 6-inch version. You can actually get another version as well, which I can come to in shortly. This is configurable for either 3 fletchings or 4 fletchings. This one is actually set up for 4 fletchings. Comes with a couple of Allen keys and the main clamp. Now the 2 Allen keys, they're different sizes and they're for adjusting this. So the small one goes in here, and what you do is you adjust this. So you might be able to see this is all the way out, and the other one is all the way in, and that's because I've set this up for 4-inch, that would be for 3-inch, and it just rotates round. They are really robust. I've had one, I think I bought my first one probably about 14 years ago, and I've used it constantly. Second Allen key is for this element, and this is for your alignment. So you can undo these, and then you can slide where the magnetic clamp connects. So you can do a slight offset, but also ensure that you get that perfect straight alignment of your fletching on your arrow shaft. Very easy, and they tighten up very, very well. There's a couple of holes in the bottom of the plate, so you can actually mount that on a board. I tend to use a G-clamp when I put them on my table, put them on the edge of the table and use a G-clamp around to hold it in place. Another thing with the actual clamp itself, you've got a little threaded bolt there that you can wind in and open up the clamp a little so you're not crushing your fletchings and you're not damaging the fletchings in the process. It's magnetic, so you offer it up onto the magnetic plate after you put your fletching in here, and it's a very, very strong connection. Very strong connection. You want to be, first few times you use that, you want to be aware of that because it's very easy to suddenly feel it connecting. And if you've used glue, I tend to use fletching tape, it's very easy for you to end up in a situation of getting some muck on there, or not quite getting your fletchings right. Now, the Allen keys come in a little Ziploc bag like this. What I've done, I'm just going to grab one of my other fletchings and I'll show you. So I have all my fletching tools in one box, and as I said, I've got a few of these jigs because I like them. I was introduced to them when I first started. There's lots on the market. I just happen to like this, and I have got others, and I have tried others over the years. So just let me move that out of your way. So a couple of things I've done with mine, just to make life easier. You'll see here I've got a couple of zip ties, and I've mounted the Allen keys onto here, just so they don't get lost. I've marked where the alignment for the cock feather, so that when I put the actual arrow in, or I know that that is the correct alignment for the cock. And there, I'm not sure where we'll be able to focus on this 3 and 4. I've adjusted this one. It's got red tape on it, so I know it's different to the other one. I've adjusted this slightly, and what I've got is I've got one fletching set up for Sharon's, one set up for myself for 3 fletch. It's just the alignment out because I shoot usually 1132 wooden shafts or carbon 500s legacies. So I've got mine set up. There's another jig that's ideal for Sharon, but it's just literally a case of undoing those two, sliding it back and forth to make sure that, see there's a little line here, making sure that you've got that perfect alignment. I put some tape around here, and that is just to protect the arrows. If I offer up an arrow on here now, because you tend to use wooden arrows, I've just put a little bit of tape on there so it doesn't mark the arrows when the actual shaft is rotating. When you are rotating, this isn't ideal because of the fact obviously it's got a fletching on there. Just make sure that the actual arrow always sits in the little V in there. But anyway, is it worth the money? I think they are. They're not as expensive as some of the other models. They're incredibly robust. They're very, very solid construction. The only thing I've done is every so often I've dropped a little bit of oil in there just to lubricate the joints a bit. I'm on my third one of these I think I've bought now. It speeds up, having a couple of the jigs, it just speeds up the process when you're fletching. I like them. Any downsides to them? I've not found one over the years, and I have been using it for a while. Yes, I haven't got any helical clamps or anything on them. This just comes with a straight clamp with a ruler on there, so you can make sure that if you're wanting to offset your fletchings a little bit further forward, you can always mark it up. As I said, I've had them for years. They work really well. This one's incredibly well used and very, very battered, but it's still brilliant to use. And the clamp's not broken. The only thing I've had an issue is I accidentally undid one of these once too far on the ball bearing and spring jumped out, but I managed to find them. Aware of that. As I said, a bit of tape on there just protects your arrows, and putting a little mark on there just to make sure you've always got the index does help quite a bit. So that's it. That's the Cartel Fletching jig that retails for about £18 from Merlin Archery. I hope you found this useful. I'm going to try and do some more equipment reviews. Look out for some on 3Ds and others. Have a check on my YouTube site, and if there's any questions, drop me a line by all means. In the meantime, thanks very much, and I hope you enjoy your archery.
Thanks for listening to this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you'd like to get in touch, you can find me on offthearrowshelf.com or on Instagram, offthearrowshelf again. You can even email me on offthearrowshelf@yahoo.co.uk. But most of all, remember to stay safe and enjoy your archery.